Welcome to today's noon, everyone. Let me just switch around. Oh, hang on, there we go. Are we in the right place? Almost. Have we got the right volume on? Yes. There's a bit of brightness. Here comes the shoes. And that's all right, I'll just put my shoes on whilst I wait for a few of you to come on in. Insoles in. It's 11:57. Here's that move we did the other day in seated. What was it? Active seated Saturday, that was, wasn't it? A good way to put shoes on. Saves you bending your head all the way down to the floor. In which case, I wouldn't see you, would I, Chris? So, by getting the foot up to said table, you can get your shoe on without taking your head down towards the floor. There we go. Job done. Afternoon, everyone. It's 11:57. Few minutes to go to our 12 noon gong. Mrs. Perry's in. George is in. Asking about the footy, are you? It was terrible. We were terrible. Could have been better, yes. We were the underdogs, as you can imagine, from our previous matches and stuff like that in the season. We played really well in the first half. They found some holes in our defence and in our midfield. There were massive holes in the midfield, to be honest. A complete disconnect between our forwards and our back line. But that's something to work on. So they found holes in those bits, and they scored. They scored about 4 goals. We gave up then. There was a key core few that gave up. Now, of course, that's never going to help, is it? If you've got even 1 or 2 people giving up, it's a bad vibe in the team. So there were some still running the bums off, trying to work it through and everything, but some just was on a bit of a go slow, a bit of a I quit. So yeah, a few more goals went in after that. And to be honest, if you're going to give up, you deserve to get a spanking, don't you, from the opposition, because all they're going to do is run right through you. So yeah, maybe we won't be having a friendly against them again anytime soon. They are a slightly higher level team than us anyway. The manager didn't do me any favours either. He said, oh, I'll switch it up. If we get a few goals up, we'll switch it up. You know, I said, my lot, they don't want a spanking. Thank you very much. But unfortunately, we got one. Needless to say, tonight we're going to be licking a few wounds, but putting that one firmly behind us in the past and moving on to the future. Only a few more games left for us in this season. Got to get something out of it. Right, let me just say a few quick hellos. I know it's time. Right, just a few of us in. We've got Mrs. P, we've got Christine Rowland, we've got Odile, we've got Carol, we've got Gillian with a J. We've got the G with the Gillian as well. We've got the George, we've got Pat Haynes, and Caroline's just nipped in as well at the last second. Before I do, the 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon and welcome. It's the 12 noon. You've got me again for a couple of days. Me and Bex are just juggling the noons around a little bit. I'll be on the 4 p.m. as well today. I think Bex is finishing up in Ireland at some point this week. Call that girl gets around, don't she? I'm not going far this week. Staying around. So, and you're damn right there, Odile. There's always room for improvement in ourselves and in my football team. Right, shall we? Today is it the 27th? I think it is. Yes, Monday the 27th of February 2023. We only got one day left of February, haven't we? And then my sister's coming to see us on Monday, on Wednesday the 1st. Right, come on you lot. I was just giving myself a mental note there not to forget her at the airport. Okay, so arrange yourself. Hang on, let's get the table out of the way. Arrange yourself in your seated or your standing position and in your seated and standing better posture. Lifting tall, lengthening, getting the rib cage up and away, out of your hips. Standing straight and tall through your legs, straight and tall through your posture the best you can be. Foot pedals applied thereafter. External support, a few options around you. Just using it as a light fingertip touch rather than holding on for dear life or hunkering over it is good. And here your prompts in seated. You might already be forwards in the chair, but if you're not, make your way via a few hip walks towards the front portion of the chair. And this is where your backs of your thighs are free, but your bottom's not, it's in the chair. Pedaling away from that point and progress into some leg marches, but also feel free to backtrack to those foot pedals if you need to. The if you need to is normally around if you get any fatigue around your hips, if you feel that when you're lifting your knees you're starting to slump down through the posture, or in standing it's likely that you're not going to get the achiness here like you would in seated, but you're likely to get it around the side of your hips, side of your bum. Try your best to work through that slight achiness. It's your muscles just waking up a little bit. It can be a sign that they need to build their muscular endurance as well. So doing stuff over a longer period of time will help to build that. So try and stick with it. We've only got about 3 minutes or so anyway. Right, we've got an arm swing now. We can get the arms and shoulders involved. All of those muscles crisscrossing our shoulder area, chest, upper back, neck area as well, all start to benefit from this simple arm swing. Use your support, don't use your support, go to and from your support if you like. Try and make this a coordinated action as your right arm drives back, your left knee's picking up and vice versa. Treading through the feet. Not stompy flat-footedness through the feet. Try and roll through the feet and ankles. Swing at the shoulder rather than just waggle about your elbows. And we get a bit more effectiveness and specificness in our movement quality and pattern. Right, there we go. Steady yourself down. Bring that to a stop. Have a bit of a readjust to twitch around. Have a bit of a switch off of your posture. And there we have your second round of Circ Boost for today. Right, if you've got a tea towel, grab it. If you've got a stretchy band thingy, you could grab that. Okay, so what we're going to do with this then is we're going to do a little bit of work for the back of the arm. Now we did a little bit of this yesterday in our early edition of the 12 noon. So if you fancy doing any of those again, I'll give you a quick reminder of what those were. But if you've got your tea towel or stretchy band thing, just come into seated, scoot it around your knees a little bit. Might not have enough. Yeah, I'll do a little bit of a seesaw. If you've not got a long tea towel to enable this to happen, so you're pulling round with the arm down that side of you and the other hand is just coming forwards a little bit. So it's a little bit, we can do a bit of a seesaw there, look. So you're just letting it brush against your kneecaps, keeping some tension there. There's a little bit of trunk movement there as well. The arms are pulling and squeezing into the back of the arm and around the back of your shoulder as well. If you've got a stretchy band, as you pull it, of course it's going to stretch, and you might be able to track your arm somewhere back here. But with a stiff tea towel, you've not got that stretchability to do so. So the range of movement will be a little bit smaller, a little bit shorter, and a little bit smaller. Keep going with that if that feels all right for you. Now, if you want to come in and do a few more tricep presses in standing, you can do this. We did this yesterday. I'm going to get this out of the way and use the wall. But if you've got a ledge that you can put your hands over, sometimes putting your hands over a little ledge rather than flat against the wall can be a bit more comfy for the range of movement that you've got available at your wrists. Keep your elbows best you can tight to your trunk, and take your feet just slightly away so that you're leaning into your arms a little bit. You can see my body's on a bit of a diagonal. I'm going to increase that diagonal, press towards the wall, and then push away. That's quite a significant load going through your arm. If that feels a bit too much load, and you know, if it does feel quite hard, just see how many you can do. That's fine. It's okay for it to feel hard. But if it feels a little bit too much, you could split your stance, step in towards what you're pressing and pushing against, and just lighten that slightly. Great for loading through the wrists, this one. The one that we're doing seated is good for grip and forearm strength. Strengthening into the back of the arms. You can see we can hold ourselves on hands and knees. We can hold ourselves a bit better when we're leaning and reaching over something. Maybe you're leaning on the table to wipe a little bit further across the table. You're leaning on something to reach something that's a bit further away from you. All that comes through the stability of your shoulder, back of your arm as well. There we go. First one done. Now we're going to have a look at a little bit of a balance manoeuvre. Now in seated, all we can do is try and replicate best we can what we're doing from the standing perspective. We won't challenge our balance particularly in seated, so if you really do want to work on that and you can come into standing, please try and do that. But here's the seated option for you. We're going to manoeuvre and shift around the chair in multiple different ways. So you're at the front third of the chair at the minute. You're going to just hip walk back. From that hip walk back, you can take a few steps to the side, but you might need to use your hands on the side of your seat to swizz yourself around. You might want to come all the way back and then go to the other side. You can also do that perhaps a little easier from a forwards position in your chair. You can see I'm taking some footsteps, not too big, round to the side. Something that we also did yesterday in the movements, oh no, not yesterday, might have been on the seated day. We did some hotches, so you can push through your arms and hotch back. All the way, tailbone back, bottom as far back as it goes, and then hotches forwards. We're taking a bit of push through the legs, but a good push through arms as well. Have a go at that. In standing, we're going to take some travelling backward steps. And after we've done some travelling forward steps. For any balance challenge, if you're using a little bit or a full hand on your external support or no support at all, have some close to you, because with a balance challenge, you're supposed to wobble. So you might need to either touch down or take a kind of a compensatory, a reactive step to recover your balance. Right, we're going to take a few narrow walks forward. So tightrope walks. Line up your heel with your toes and then step through. Line up your heel with the toes and step through. Using your support or keeping your hand quite close to the support, take as many steps as you can in that forwards walking direction. We're going to try and do that backwards. Now backwards, a little bit more tricky. You can't see where you're going. You can either just take some normal step reversing steps, the kind that you'd take if you were pulling the trolley towards you, wheeling the wheelie bin out of a corner, or pulling something towards you like a door and taking a few steps backwards. Or you can make that a little bit more balancy challengey by reversing down your imaginary tightrope, crossing the other foot behind the standing foot. See how you get along with those. Now I've only got space for about 3, possibly 4 of these travelling steps, but you might have support available for you to be able to take a few more. Now each time I've finished, I'm going to just reset the feet and then think about transitioning backwards. Toes, ball, heel, and that's whether you're keeping your feet parallel or whether you're tucking one foot behind the other. Toes, you see that here, toes, ball, heel, placement down. Feeling with the toes, settling, transferring the weight so it frees up the front leg to do its step after. Right, I'm not sure whether I breathed then. So travelling, walking, balance-based steps there, functional shifting, hip walking and hotching in the chair, in seated, to get you round and about, to get you organised, whether you're sitting down and moving or getting out of a chair and needing to adjust your position. Sometimes it's not as simple as just to sit to stand from here, is it? So those manoeuvres will help you to navigate a bit better, to get into a position better to where you can potentially stand or transfer. Okay everyone, last one, we'll do a quick, simple, easy squeeze, twist and pull. Seated or standing, it's up to you. If you're standing, you might want to have a little lean and prop against something. Just a quick and easy one that we all know, we've done tons of times. It features on your tea towel if you have a tea towel. Right, just a bit of folding. It's like folding the washing, rolling it into a tube. It's like the rolling the tube that you might do if you're trying to get more in a packing of your suitcase. Hand at the bottom, hand at the top, hands at about chest level. Squeeze, increase grip, twist, take your elbows from an outwards position to an inwards position, so your knuckles are pointing forwards now, and a pull up and down at the same time, and a relax. Another squeeze, elbows are flared out very, very slightly, so they've got somewhere to move to as you twist and stack the wrists there. Pull and ease out of it. So grip strength, jaw strength, pulling strength for when you are doing duvet covers, blankets, pulling your shoes and socks on, getting boots on and off your feet. Grip strength for everything that you possibly need to hold on to during your day. And do one more. You might feel a little bit of work in the forearms here. Strengthens, stabilises the wrists. Keeps your grip in check. Get a grip, everyone. That'll do nicely. Okay, there we go. Might need a bit of finger wiggly stuff to go around here. Might want to just move your wrists a little bit. See, have some waggly hand jives going along there. There we go. Who needs a new knee? Oh dear. Let's strengthen the muscles around it, Margaret Hamilton, and then hopefully we can give it a bit more life whilst you wait. Okay, everyone. I'm going to read your messages a little bit later. I'll see you back here for the 4 p.m. But for now, you've done your movement minutes. Go and have a cup of tea. Do a bit of housework. Do a potter of some description. And yes, we will see you a bit later.